Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your midday market report for Thursday, April 14th, 2022. Um, Easter weekend. Tomorrow is Good Friday, and Sunday is Easter. How quick these holidays come. Great show earlier today for all that caught it. The real Vegas Dave, as I like to call him, Dave Sharapan, just talking about sports, talking about life, talking about Vegas life, talking about these lanes, and someone that has so much experience, whether it's in Curacao or back in the States, working on the strip at various casinos and sports books to where he is now today, where I call him the mayor of Vegas. And just glad to enjoy some stories. But it's Thursday, it's 2 o'clock. That means that is our weekly trip to the Windy City. And let me tell you, I was on Sports Insights earlier this morning, and it was windy. I was checking out the wind from Sports Insights on the CUBBIE game, and let's just say 25. Actually, that was in Colorado. Let me backtrack. We were looking into the White Sox game. I apologize there. And I know that's a forbidding team to talk about here. But the winds were 24, 25 miles an hour. And so, what better way to get a temperature of the Cubbies, the real side of Chicago, as we like to say here, the one, the only Mr. Colton Sroka.
Watch out, Jeff. It's the Windy City up here today. I tell you what, I'm trying to hold on to my damn hat, my headphones, the mic's about to fall off. Hey, Cape Cod Connection. What's up, my brother? How are you on this beautiful Thursday? It's always great to be back.
I am doing grand. How are you doing?
Hey, if I was any better, I think I'd be twins, but I don't know that anybody could handle two of me. So I'll just stay one of myself and keep spreading the good vibes. You know, cashing tickets here, left, right, and center. Happy with what my Cubs are doing. But outside of that, nothing major to report. Looking forward to getting into some rabbit holes with you here today, my friend.
We're super stoked. We're 1 week in to the MLB. There it is. There it is.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
Loud and proud. Before we dive in there, would you care to, I guess, start with a little NBA talk?
Sure.
There is a team in Chicago called the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Great start to the year. Let's be honest. Had a great first half of the year. Injuries, whatever you want to say, the second half. And listen, I know out there is not the greatest for the feel or the vibes, but I will just say this. You're absolutely moving in the right direction. You can't be more happier for where this team is going, whether it's going to bow out in first round or whatever it is. But you got something to hold on to and to work with.
150%. I couldn't agree with that anymore, Jeff. And first of all, before I go any further, buddy, nice new digs, dude. Loving everything you got going on here. Big fan of the visuals. Hey, shout out, buddy. Absolutely love it. Your boy up there too.
High above
hey.
Our new guy, our new team player, Mr. Kiefer Engels. Shout out to him.
Shout out.
We met him in Vegas through Rob and B2B and Beating the Book. We had some conversations. I've been waiting for someone like this all my life, and we had some talks, and he has arrived.
Nice. Very nice. It's awesome. I want to give you compliments on that straight away because that is absolutely electric. Also, you better believe it. CUBBIE King down there now too, baby. I absolutely love the change. I've noticed everything. Hey, I'm a super soldier, Jeff. I'm the kind of guy who walks into a room. I know how many light sockets are in there before anybody else. I like to say I walk around, barely get dipshit wiped off my forehead every morning, but maybe that's just like the way I like to keep it. I don't know. Maybe who am I? Maybe I'm not shit yet. Who knows? Who am I? But back to those Bulls you mentioned, my man. Yeah, you're right. Very, very interesting season. I got to give you full transparency and say I tapped out of NBA about 3/4 of the way through the season because I was getting so heavily involved. I was running my systems. I had my number. Now, I have a very basic system that I utilize. I utilize pretty much across the board for all NHL, MLB, NFL, everything. Very basic system. That being said, my numbers felt like they were spot on and I just could not get it figured out. So then I started trying to attack other angles and I would get smashed through the floor. And it just didn't seem worth it to me if I'm doing all this work and I know I'm putting in the work and I know I'm doing the right things. Now, you're right. Gambling is nonsense from time to time. I get that. You got to fight through the ups and the downs. But it had gotten to a point where it's just like, I got to put my focus on something else. And I really started to do that with MLB. And I'm really starting to see the K prop market, some of those side markets, the first fives for sure. I'm learning some from early mistakes, which I'm glad I'm learning from them early before I learn from them late. But as far as the Bulls go, I'm really interested to see what happens here. If they can make a run, I doubt it against the Bucks, right? You know, everybody's already kind of writing them off. I would be too. But just as kind of I sit and think about it, I'm really interested to maybe just with how much they are counted out right now and what we talked about all March long, my good friend. The teams that weren't really talked about during the playoffs were the ones, or the tournament were the ones that kept moving forward. So I'm not saying the Bulls win it in 3 or 5. I'm not saying any of that right now, but I am saying it could get really interesting because the games against the Bucks always are. The boys across the border are not our favorites in the entire planet. So that could be a possibility for sure. But as far as going forward, that's what I liked how you closed that. As far as going forward, I mean, it's a good time to be a Bulls fan. It's a good time to just be a fan of Chicago in general. Outside of the Blackhawks, I mean, every team is kind of doing that rebuilding, or even not, if not rebuilding, just kind of retooling, and has a really strong lineup. I mean, I'll even give the Sox props. Like I came into this year thinking there's no way they can stay hot against lefties, right? There's no way they can keep doing what they've done from 18 to 19 to 20 to 21. Slap a wig on me and call me silly, because I'm telling you what, they're doing the same exact doggone things they were before. And I'm just like, okay, well, I ain't going to fade you. Now, I will tell you, I'm fading them in the first five today. First five, relax. The first five, we'll talk about it. But I don't know. They've been a very, very good team. So I'll give them their props. The Cubbies, surprising a lot of people. How about that Hendricks cash last week? How about that money line cash last week? Hope you all tuned in. Told you we were going to be cashing tickets on them all year long. I actually got to play on him here today. I am very, very excited to talk about him here as well. So I got a handful of plays. You know, I've kind of taken a different angle to what I'm doing here now, Jeff. As far as just giving out plays, I don't want to come from the angle of I'm the smartest guy in the room. I'm the only one who can see this analysis. I'm the only one who knows what I'm doing. So I've kind of taken your angle on my shows, and I put up the wager talk board. And I'll go back and forth and I'll just go through every single game and I'll say, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm not seeing. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I'm not seeing. And just literally through the lines and helping people understand this is why I'm making this play. It's because at the end of the day, all that writing and the flash and the glitz and the glamour, like that's just to make the plays sound good, right? Like people need to truly understand why we are making this plays and why we look at these lines and everything in between. So I've really started to attack it from that angle, and I think you might hear that in a little my analysis today, but I've just really kept it more open. So you know me, you give me the floor and I go down a doggone rabbit hole about my Cubs and the Sox and podcasting and the Bulls. And you can't bring me to the show and expect anything different. So, again, my pleasure, my man. The show looks beautiful. You look great. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for having me on, as always.
Always our pleasure, of course. And I'm glad you talked about the board and the MLB. We're a weekend, and it's 162 games now. For us in these lanes, it's Groundhog Day. It's every day's the same day, and once you get into a routine, uh, uh, how you read the board, what you do, you're going to add and subtract. It's like that 7-course meal that never ends. You add in a little extra garlic one day, you're sprinkling on a little paprika the next day, and you're
I
pulling
like
out the
that
stuff.
analogy. That's a good analogy.
And so what's working to start the year might not be working come Memorial Day. I mean, a perfect example is ourselves here at ECSI to start the year last year in baseball. We were struggling so damn well. We would get to the seventh and eighth inning, have the lead, and then the bullpen would blow it. Okay. So then finally the light bulb came on and says, well, if you're breaking down these games and the Vegas odds are based upon the starting pitching, why don't you take it to its advantage, which is the first five? Now, There is a trick to this first five because perfect example last night. I'll bring up the Yankees and Toronto. Okay. Cole's a lightning rod. The overnight number was 125. The release number was 155. It got steamed up to 160. You're never going to see the Jays plus 150 in your whole life, probably this year. And I don't see Pedro Martinez pitching anywhere else soon. So we can keep it at that one. So now, how do we skin this cat? Well, for me, I trust and respect the opening numbers to a big, big degree here.
Sure.
So what I did is I went into the first five and I looked, how could I extract the most value? Now, did I like the fact that I'm trying to beat Cole in the first five? I get with Berrios, who didn't get out of the first inning. No, I didn't. But I knew the Cole price was inflated.
100%.
So what we did is we took the Jays plus a half run minus the 105. Now,
attaboy.
Leading up to the bottom of the fifth inning, I'm kicking myself in the ass because could have had a nice dog and the money line. Well, guess what happened? The Yankees scored 3-3 tie. We had the plus half run. Take it to the window, baby.
Woo! Hey, sound the alarms. Here we go. Sound the alarms. It's showtime. Hey, that was actually one of my best bets of the day as well. I absolutely loved him in that spot. And you mentioned a couple of things. I was writing notes over here, and number one is going to be fading Garrett Cole. I think we are going to be able to fade Garrett Cole all season long. I think he's going to be overvalued all season long. There's an image that's in my mind right now, and I gotta go back to my likes real quick here on Twitter. Shout out everybody watching on Twitter, following along on Twitter, because I want to make sure I shout out the right party here. Let's see here. It was Ben Porter. Shout out Ben Porter at Ben13Porter on Twitter. Great MLB analyst, content creator, everything in between. He's got a great Twitter, hell of a follow. Well, he tweets this video of Garrett Cole throwing an inside fastball, no tailing action, nothing at all, and Vladdy puts his hands back and pushes it to the opposite field. And when that happens, he does his normal walk off the mound, but he tips his cap to Vladdy like Vladdy just got him on he said 106 mile an hour fastball. Like, I really truly don't think that Garrett Cole has the junk, has the nasty, has the firepower post sticky stuff. I don't think enough people are talking about that. I really truly do believe he's going to be overvalued all year. I'm on the Cole fade train, and I don't care if I get smacked in the mouth for it a couple of times. I'm perfectly fine with that, my friend. And another thing, talk about opening movement, and I guess I can kind of give away the play early, but I am going to the first five, almost this exact same thing with Seattle and Chicago White Sox today. So the line opened up, and I tweeted this early this morning. I'm always trying to find these little angles and tweet them out so people can see them. It's what I do, even though I'm a goofy beer can on my PFP. I love sports gambling. I saw it last night. It was about 12 o'clock my time. I think it was, Jeff, 12:30 my time. I saw the line. Seattle was minus 105 on the money line, and then they were plus a half, about minus 140. And I said, ooh, that plus a half is nice. I like that value. That's why I was thinking it was going to stay. But I thought to myself, well, damn, this feels a little bizarre. I feel like this is going to flip at some point in time. I'll be damned if it didn't flip this morning. It's minus 118 on their money line. Now their minus a half is only plus 110. So they're literally they flipped it. They're begging you to take the Sox on the underdog money and begging you to take that plus a half with them, getting that kind of similar minus 120, minus 130. It's the same exact movement. It's the overnight flip that the books are not anticipating the average bettor on looking at. Well, got your ass. I stay up 1 o'clock in the morning and see these lines come out, and then I see them completely flip. So I love that you mentioned that game, because that game stood out in my mind last night too. It's been an interesting season. There's still been some first five hiccups here and there. You can't bank on the tried and true minus 130s, bet it up to minus 140, stay safe. You can't necessarily bank on that quite yet. And I think the books are in the right spot. I just think they're just a little off. I think what it is, and to go back to bring it full circle here and kick it back over to you, I think it goes back to starting pitching. And really why I went into Seattle the first 5 plus a half here today. Logan Gilbert had a terrible start, awful opening start, and they were in Seattle. Now they go to Chicago. You're telling me he's gonna the Chicago White Sox are now a dog on the full game money line, and Logan Gilbert absolutely sucked in the first game. Are you kidding me? I can hear every person in Illinois in the Windy City area already saying that, whether they're a Cubs fan or a Sox fan. They're smashing this play in today. They flipped overnight to the dog, and I just simply don't believe that Logan Gilbert's going to have back-to-back bad starts. I think Logan Gilbert's going to show up today, and I think that's what we're going to rely on. So, hey, just gave you an early play there. Easy money, but man, I can't wait for that play for sure, because that one really stuck out to me, and I'm glad you mentioned yours too.
Yeah, I left Vegas with a bunch of Gilbert futures. He was one of the guys that we had Westgate add to their list. I think we got him at either 150 or 200 to 1 to win the MLB most wins for the year. And I liked the spot. We had the same thing with Alek Manoah. I love that kid. OMG, I love that kid. And we grabbed Bassett before, DeGrom, and now Scherzer. Scherzer's pitching today, but yes, he pitched the other day. But we were figuring Bassett in the 3 spot versus most 3s was a good value there as well.
Definitely. Well, Scherzer pitching today, pitched the other day as an underdog. Did you see that? Scherzer on the money line as an underdog. Was I dreaming? Did I make that up? I mean, what in the world is going on in this world? That's almost like hell freezing over type shit. Like, you couldn't buy him at anything less than 2 bills of chalk last year. Are you kidding me? I lost my mind when I saw that, but thank goodness I stayed away.
Yes, it's called the Jedi mind tricks.
Yes, it is. I love that psychology. That's why I got involved in this game at the end of the day.
Quick updates. Top of the 4th, Oakland leading 4-1 at Tampa. Irving
more runs. We need over 8. Come on, here we go, Jeff. Over 8.
Tampa opened minus 200. Oakland now minus 400 in live game. The game that Colton is talking about, rotation number 915, 916, Seattle at the White Sox. Gilbert versus Lambert. We are at the bottom of the first right now, and it's still zeros there. I'm going to piggyback back to one thing that you said, and then we're going to go on to your plays today. Vegas is so sharp, so coy, so smart, whatever you want to say, when they sprinkle in the 130s, the 135s, and the 140s. Now, you think you got an edge. Now you go to the first 5. Let's use the first 5 for example. You see them minus a half run, plus 110, say. Now the Jedi mind trick says, well, shit, if it's 3-3, I'm going to lose. Okay? So you don't want to lose on a tie.
Right.
Okay? So you start playing just 3 plays. Minus 140, minus 130, minus 130. Okay, if you go 0-3, you're chasing now 4 units. Those 30 and 40 cents add up real quick. And in baseball, especially, I talk about Quicksand Sunday every Sunday. Nothing worse than waking up on a Sunday down 4 or 5 units and seeing Kershaw minus 300, seeing Max Scherzer minus 350. Giolito minus 280. You can't get into those games. So what a lot of people will do is, especially if they're home, well, I'll play the full game run line while they're at home. Well, people don't understand this either. And this is a real good learning session for anyone watching and listening. When you are the home team, you are only guaranteed 24 outs. If you are batting in the bottom of the 9th, you are either tied or losing. So unless you get a walk-off 2-run, 3-run, or grand slam, you're still not going to cover the run line. Okay? So you've already cut your odds in half. As much as you want to get into Kershaw minus 300 against the Cubs on a Sunday, I'll take them on the run line. Well, you're taking your 27 guaranteed outs with the Cubs, and yours are only 24 outs. So people don't take that into consideration. I love full game run lines when I'm the away team because I'm guaranteed those 27 outs.
I like
But
that.
people don't look at it that way, Colton.
I like that. Jeff, I hadn't really ever looked at it that way either, but I still had that same psychology. Like I still had the same thought process and I guess I just had to look through it. Yeah, if you get those, you're already cutting your odds in half. You get those 3 extra outs. I just I'd never really put 2 and 2 together. I thank you for kind of bringing a little bit more light to that subject because I do like road teams in baseball, especially if they do have a day of rest, even if they don't in some situations. But even if they do have a day of rest, you don't really have to worry about them being a road team because at the end of the day, like they're still going to perform. They have to. There's 162 games, like you said. So don't get too carried away with the lines. Yeah, because man, those Jedi mind tricks. I'm telling you, they do it. They do it every single day. And well, I'll be the first person to admit it. I get caught up in those sometimes because you do think you have an edge. You think you're in the right spot. Bang, 0-3. And it's that quick. It'll just, and it's crazy. Those days, it's not like you come out and in the second inning, it's 5-0. And you're like, oh, yeah, this is over with. Like, it was there the whole time. Bottom of the fifth, 2 outs, it busts on a plus a half that was at minus 130. Like it is storybook every day. So definitely take stock of that. I think Wednesdays are going to be a key day that happens a lot. Wednesdays have kind of felt to me a little bit off, a little just the lines not where they should be. So just a little bit of advice there from what I've kind of seen so far, and kind of to piggyback on top of you.
And we had a first 5 yesterday. We had the hook, so it didn't matter. But for the people that played Houston first 5 money line, bases loaded hit batsman, 1-0 Arizona. Thanks for playing. So they didn't even get the ball out of the infield, and they got a hit batsman to score the only run in the first 5. So that's baseball.
Our boy Logan Gilbert comes out dealing. Bottom of the first, 11 pitches, works through the first 3, nice and easy. So like hot knife through butter. And we get an extra run there, 5-1 now, Oakland against Tampa Bay. So yeah, up to 6 now. So we only need 3 more runs, baby. 3 more runs. Here we go.
And your in-game live under over is 10.5 juiced over 45 cents. On the right side.
45 cents. Wowzer, Kapowzer. Okay, I caught the over 8.5 at minus 105 this morning. So I'm pretty excited about that. I didn't have to pay all too much juice to get involved. So there you go. There you have it.
And the board and stage is yours, my brother.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I already told you about the Mariners. It's already going on. I'm actually taking the Mariners first 5 money line. I was confident enough to take the money line and not worry. I just looked at my notes and I had to look back. I was like, oh shit, that is the ticket that I had out. I thought I put in the plus half, but it is first 5 money line. Not that you guys can play it. And I mean, I guess we'll see what the odds are. I don't know. But it honestly, everything we talked about, that line movement, Logan Gilbert, and Jimmy Lambert, I really think we might see Jimmy Lambert really start to struggle by the time I'm done talking about my second best bet of the day. He held in 4 games pitched last year a 6.23 ERA. He was terrible at home, 10.38 ERA last year. And against Seattle, he's only gone an inning and a third, 2 Ks, 2 walks, a home run, and a 27.00 ERA. So I think by the time that I get done talking with my next one, we might have something. Speaking of, Seattle might have done something here pretty damn soon. So keep your ear to the street. I'll keep my eyes on the prize over here, but I'll let you know if anything pops up. But I'm going back to the Blue Jays again tonight, my friend. We got rotation number 917, 918. Gozman against Severino. And there's one key reason for this, and it's because of Gozman versus Severino. I got the Blue Jays plus a half once again at the minus 140. It came back down a little bit. I ended up catching it. It was like minus 138, I think it ended up being. I love this spot because of Gozman and what he does as far as from this perspective. So number one, he's faced this lineup a bunch in his career, and there's that was me talking. Hey, how's it going? So versus lineup is actually where I really keyed in on, and one key stat. So he's faced this lineup 94 at bats. He's got a 254 batting average allowed. The best part is a 283 on base percentage. So he keeps the runners off base. Now, he does have a 793 OPS. So if they do get on base, he gets into a little bit of trouble. It's kind of one of them remove the corn cob moments, Gozman. But I think he's going to be fine because that 283 OBP is really what sold me here. And if you follow my show in any capacity, don't know if you would have at all last year, but Gozman was one of my favorite pitchers to back. He was on the Giants, and one of my favorite spots to back him was on the road. He actually had 19 games pitched on the road in 2021, 2.33 ERA, and a 214 opponent batting average allowed across the board over those 19 games. So I think he continues to have success here into this matchup. And then Severino, we already know what that is. It's a bullpen day every time Severino shows up. He might go an inning and 2/3, 2 1/3, 3 max, and he's out, and we're getting into the bullpen. I think the Yanks bullpen has overperformed expectations so far, in my opinion. They got some really good top line numbers, but I think it's time for a little bit of regression here today. So it's going to be a bullpen day in my mind. They don't have to be winning it. They just got to have the doggone thing tied. And I think we're going to be saying the same thing. Man, we would have had a juicy plus money dog that we could have taken to the window in the first 5, but we're getting good value on the plus a half. So second best bet coming out of that bad boy. I'm taking the Blue Jays first 5 plus a half.
I like where the eyes are there again. These two teams, I think honestly, Toronto's the team obviously to beat in the East. I am gonna assume the Rays will be battling the Yankees for second and third spot. I have no faith in my Sox, even though they're battle tested. They're coming back to Fenway, 500, so I can't complain there. But this Toronto team from top to bottom, they are long and longer, and their front 5. They're going to get you 5 or 6 every time. They're going to have to tighten up the bullpen. They're already all in, so watch around the All-Star break and trade deadline when they add a few more arms as well.
Speaking of bombs and just scoring and being all in, Vladdy seems to be back in action, and I think I'm all in on him winning the home run title this year because his odds went from plus 800 to plus 500 overnight after that 3 home run performance. So I'm not saying he does it again, but I would not be surprised to see our boy at least pipe one more. When he gets hot, he gets hot. He's just like his dad. When his dad would go on a run, he would have 1 home run a game, and like that's what this feels like right now. And I cannot wait to see what Vladdy Jr. He changed the glove. He changed the glove to the picture of him and his dad. It's like it's a wrap of him and his dad all around his glove. As soon as he changed it, he just instantly the curse came off the bat, all the nonsense stopped, and he's rocking and rolling. So I'm excited. I think he gets one. Hey, maybe there's a side prop for you. Maybe play a little Vladdy to hit another bomb. Who knows?
Yeah, and Scotty preseason talked about Vlad was hands down by his projections and numbers going to win the MVP of the American League, and he
like that.
Great start there.
Oh yeah, great start. I only got I guess 2 more. One more here, and then we'll go back to the NL. So we'll stay in the AL here. Actually, the one right below it, 919, 920, Angels and Texas. This honestly comes down to the 2 guys you see there, Shohei Ohtani against Dane Dunning. And this isn't like, Shohei Ohtani's the bit, like you have to back him. No, there's some serious stuff behind this. Ohtani didn't get the win in his first game out. I don't know if anybody knew that right off the bat, but he didn't. He pitched really, really well, but he didn't get the win. He went 4 2/3, 9 Ks, 1 walk, no homers. He carries a 1.93 ERA this season so far. And he has done really, really well against this Texas team. I love him to come in and just be guns a-blazing right off the bat. As upset as Shohei Ohtani can be, I feel like he's one of the most happy baseball players in the world or MLB players in the world. But I think he comes in really pissed off and really gunning, especially coming off the loss in his MLB, well, not debut, but the debut to this season. So against his lineup, he has pitched 4 games, gone 22 innings against him, 30 Ks, 10 walks, a 192 opponent batting average allowed, and a 2.86 ERA. So I think he continues to deal. 203 OBP against this lineup. So I think he keeps them off base all night long. And even if they do get on base, he's got a 419 OPS against him. So that's all for Ohtani. Just a quick bit about Dunning. I don't know how much you guys know or your audience knows, or even you too, Jeff. Dane Dunning is a fade machine. I faded him all last year. He was struggle bust central, and it really looks like he's going to be struggling again in this Texas rotation. He's only gone 1 game, 5 innings, 4 Ks, 2 walks, and allowed a homer. 5.4 ERA is what that shakes out to. Right now, too, against this lineup, really small sample size, but it was bad. 11 at-bats, 361 batting average allowed, 472 OBP, and a 1.139 OPS. I think this Angels lineup absolutely torches him here today, and I think we get a sweat-free first 5 money line straight to the pay window. So there you go. There you have it. My that'll be second now. Los Angeles Angels first 5 money line.
Okay, I was going to ask you money line, or did you give up the half run there?
money line on this one for sure.
Okay. I like that jumped out at me this morning. If my head is correct on this, and I could be totally off, I would say Angels first road game and Texas home opener, correct?
I believe you are correct because Texas, for some reason, Texas got crazy undervalued to start off the year. And who they play? What? Not Houston, but they were. Who did they play? I can't think of it now off the top of my head. I'll just look. I got my tracking app up right now. I'll look at it. Oh, hey, guess what, guys? 2-0. Seattle Mariners up against the White Sox. I told you Jimmy Lambert might be having a little bit of issues by the time I got done talking. Yeah, baby. Hold on. So I was supposed to look this one up. Sorry. See, I get into these rabbit holes, Dawson. You can't let me do this stuff live on the show. Texas played Toronto. They got sneaky. They beat them 12-6 in one of those games. That's what it was. They just got. I don't know. This Texas team is kind of weird, but like if it was anybody else, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this value probably take the half with the Rangers. With Ohtani losing his first game and this being his first road start where he was already bad last year, everybody's going to be fading the hell out of him. Give it to me all the way. I love it.
Okay.
And then last but not least, come on. You gonna put him on the board, and you're not gonna allow me to take him. Oh, you're already going there. You know what? You know where I'm going. Come on, 909, 910. First five. I'm taking the Cubbies plus a half. Got it at a really good number. This minus 120. I was able to find it on FanDuel Sportsbook for a little less juice in other places. And this one I was like, okay, if this is touching 130, I'm staying away from this one because this is set up in a half, and it's actually less. Justin Steele has already completely struggled in his career. Everybody knows that. I can't hide that. And he's also really, really struggled against Colorado. Okay, so put a pin in both of those things. The Cubbies really, really struggled in general yesterday against Pittsburgh. Put a pin in that. Take the first pin out. Justin Steele needs a rebound against this Colorado team, and I think he comes out guns a-blazing because he looked damn good against the Brewers. I don't know how many people watched Justin Steele or were so excited. I was juiced to watch Justin Steele pitch because I've watched him I follow him on Instagram, and I was watching all of his preseason stuff. I was super excited, and goodness gracious, the kid came out and absolutely dealt left, right, and center, and I think he carries that into this next game. I think he has that momentum, and I think we do just fine. They don't have to be winning it. They just got to keep it tied. And Kyle Freeland hasn't done the best against the Cubs in his career. Pretty subpar, pretty average. And if runners get on base, his OPS is not great at all. I was actually leaning towards the Cubs on the full game, but the way I see this shaking out is my Cubbies coming in hot, pissed off the road. They might get up 2-3-0 early. Then, just like you said, the Yankees come back, bang, or not, obviously it would be the Rockies. It wouldn't be the Yankees in this case, but just like it was yesterday, Rockies come back, tie it 3-3. We push out. Everybody who had them on the money line is all bummed, who had the Rockies on the money line. I think that happens maybe 3-3, 4-4. And then the Rockies mess around, and then classic 8th, 9th inning in Colorado, the Rockies hit a walk-off and they win it 5-4. Now, if I just called the exact score, I suggest you guys might want to clip this and go ahead and back the Brinks trucks up to my my complex. I got you. The Bayside Production Studios could use a little bit of a facelift, so we'll take donations as well if you guys need it, if you guys care to. But I don't know, 5-4 Rockies might win this one outright, but in the full game. But I think in the first five here, going to be something a little weird. And I'll take Justin Steele and my Cubbies first five plus a half.
Yeah, I was looking at this game, and what intrigues me, obviously, as you know how we operate here, is the 145 opening number.
Yes, sir.
The correction comes in at 114. Again, if my mind serves me correct, this is the Rockies' home opener.
Mm-hmm.
And they hit the ball pretty well. I think they just coming from, was it Texas? Did they just play in Texas?
It was yes, Texas, and then the Dodgers before that.
Yeah, so the two teams that could play offensively pretty well. Mm-hmm. I like your thought process. The under-over opened at 11.5. 11.5 under at Circa. There is an 11 over at Westgate. So kind of Vegas giving you a hit 6-5 somewhere in that area. I might be tiptoeing in the Rocky full game effect based upon the of us can shake hands and win with you steal Cubby's first 5, and I'll take the full game. How's that?
Absolutely. I love it. I'm trying to see here as you're going there if they had an exact score. See if there was an exact score. I'm going to see if there's another market over here if there's anything I can see. I'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll see if I can find that by the time we get off of here. See if there is like a 5-4 or something like that I can find. I might tweet that out later if I can find it so we don't waste time on the show, but yeah, that would be really intriguing because I do like the under 11 as well. The under 11 might be my second to best bet. I almost said best bet. Like I love unders when the total is at 11 in Coors Field. If you see the total 11 and a half at Coors Field, take the under. It gets to 12, it sits at 10, take the over. It stays at 11 all day long. Seriously, it is crazy. 11 loses the hook down to 11. Take the son of a gun all day long. I don't know what it is. The Rockies were good at that number last year, and it looks like they're going to do it again this year.
And 6-1 Oakland, Tampa Bay, top of the 5th. And what you're guaranteed also is Tampa to get their full 27 outs. So you are chasing one for the push, right?
Chasing one for the push. One for the push.
2 for the catch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're looking good there. Yeah, I bought it double. So I got an 8 at -120, and then I got an 8.5 at -105. So either way, I'm pushing out, and then I can cash doubles. So bought back in when it dropped down to the 8.
All right. Did you bring a parlay to the stage today?
So that first leg, that all over that's cooking and rocking and rolling was leg number 1. Triple play parlay. So I don't want to bullshit you guys and be like, oh, let me try and scramble and fucking the here's. Nah, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. So I still got 2 legs that I'm still extremely confident in that I think, as I don't, I forget that my phone's plugged in. I don't rip it out of the wall here. So the remaining 2 legs, I want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yeah. So I'm confident enough that almost the exact same script rolls out like last night with the Blue Jays and the Yankees. So I'm also going to take the Yankees full game money line, and I would say just parlay these 2. It's going to be just a 2-leg dog parlay that I think is going to have some really good value. The Toronto Blue Jays full game money line, and then also the Detroit Tigers first game money line. I'm sorry, I got shit going on over here on my full game money line, not first game money line. There's stuff going on. I got a new computer, and it's somehow it decided take advantage of Dell's award-winning optimization. It's going doo-doon, 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 doo-doon in my ear right now. I'm just fully transparent. I got to tell you guys what's going on. I'm fucking up my words, and it's because this thing's all going on. So that's done now. Toronto Blue Jays full game money line and the Detroit Tigers full game money line. We already talked about the Blue Jays. I'm really bought into Gozman. I think he might go 5-6, touch 6 1/3, even 6 2/3 here if he has a really good game going. And I got a lot of faith that the Blue Jays offense is here and they're ready to rock and roll now. I think they get into this bullpen early. I think they get Severino out of there, maybe 2 1/3, 2 2/3, something like that. I don't even think he makes it all 3. So I think that money line is an easy cash. And then this one right here, right next to me, Detroit Tigers full game money line. I love Casey Mize. Look at this matchup. I mean, look at this matchup. Casey Mize, Zach Greinke. What's the public doing? What's the public doing? I mean, it's that simple. Point blank period. You see the -125 open. You see the correction down to 120 across the market. It was too easy for me not to, especially Casey Mize being dominant as hell on the road last year. Not to mention he had a terrible opening start. He gave up 3 earned runs. He looked all over the place. He couldn't control. It was awful. And he's a guy that's going to cash tickets for us all year. So I think he might go 6. I think he might go deep. And I'm all over those 2 money lines. So parlay the Blue Jays and the Tigers. When I had the over on there, it was plus 738. Let me see. I can actually, I got some other stuff going on right now too. Cincinnati Reds plus 1.5 apparently was interesting to me while I was on the show. I don't know why, but it's in my bet slip right now as a potential ad for later on. Do you have eyes on that game?
Dodgers coming home. Looks like their bats have woken up. A Cincy team where they now added Sessa to the starting lineup. My assumption might be it's a bullpen game. I don't know a lot what's going on back there. A total that opened at 9 down to 8.5. Obviously, Walker Buehler is a lightning rod. 270 now corrected. I don't want to say corrected. 270 open line. Now down to 250 and 260. I mean, most Smart people are grabbing the plus money, grabbing the plus 1.5. Um,
It's
I
at that
think that
minus 130 right now, is what I'm seeing. The minus 130 on the plus 1.5.
yeah, I put it this way: there's no way in hell I'm in on the Dodger side. How's that sound?
Actually, oh geez, hold on. Maybe they adjusted this. Hold on. What's going on here? Why is this? Hold on a minute. I'm definitely not in on the Dodgers. So I think I like this plus 1.5, but for some reason I have the plus 1.5 in my slip, but it's not highlighted there. What does that mean? I'm really confused. What's going on? It says the plus 1.5 is now plus 106, but I have another one in my slip that is minus 130. It's the most bizarre thing in the world. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's just a glitch or something. I have no idea. I also the money line dice today said they like the Minnesota Wild minus 1.5. You're getting plus 198. Not me. No, not any living human breathing being. No, the money line dice. Start rolling with the realist. They stole that motto from me. Not really. I tweeted it at them because I said it on the show just like off the cuff. And that was their pick today. I don't know. If you want to believe a 8-sided inanimate cubical object like the money line dice, I mean, you think they're just straight money line dice. I roll them live on the show and we take a pick. They like the Minnesota Wild minus 1.5. And I will tell you, 3-1 on the week. A lot better than some of your corner store handicappers. I don't know about you, but 3-1 on the week. Last time I checked, that's a pretty good doggone percentage. And if they're going to give you a plus 198, sign me up.
Whatever works, keep using it.
Shout out. I love the money line dice. They crack me up. They're a hell of a product. I was hanging out with them and rolling the dice long before I even partnered with them on the show, and I just think they got some cool stuff. They got the tracking book. They got an MMA scorecard too. That I'm free plug for these guys right now. I mean, we're obviously a partner, but free plug for these guys. They got the MMA scorecard. So all you MMA fans out there that get pissed off when your guy wins, you can even get more pissed off when you score the fight and you have it scored as your guy winning the fight, and then the judges score it the opposite way. You can even get more mad. So it's pretty cool. I've been able to do that myself a couple times. It's awesome, especially when you lose that bet to the like Piotr Jan Piotr Jan last week. Yeah, we absolutely love to see that. I mean, just chef's kiss. Couldn't have wrote it better in a book. I tell you what.
Colton Sroka at Colt TTL. Excuse me, Colt TTL Sports at Talking the Line, the mid-major king. Basketball's done. He is now the CUBBIE King. The stage is yours, my brother. Tell everyone where they can find all your live shows, all your platforms on social media, and the Moneyline Dice.
I've barely been able to put the tissues away and wipe the tears from my eyes as mid-major king has to go away for a while, and as college basketball dissipates into but a figment of our imaginations. And now the most beautiful game that must be played on diamonds, it is so gorgeous, is now live in prime time. So I have become the CUBBIE King. I've metamorphosized, if you will. Maybe we just have our good friend Dave Olson erase mid-major and just CUBBIE right in there. Maybe we just throw a jersey on. It seems like a good easy swap. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm not the most artistic guy out there, but hey, I feel like something could be done. All that being said, my friends, if you don't like realness, don't follow that at Colt TTL Sports or at Talking the Line. The guy you see on this show is the guy you'll see on my show on Wise Words on Talking the Line podcast, on any my balcony bets, in a Twitter space, anywhere. I'm the same guy. I aim to bring peace, love, and positivity to an industry where you can find a lot of toxicity and a lot of negativity, and a lot of people spewing venom all day long. So, actually, shout out to somebody who's really special to me in this industry. Good friend of mine, Ronald Kabang. A lot of you know him at U_Capper. Great guy, Sports Memo, Wager Talk as well. He came on my show, Wise Words, yesterday. We had a talk at the beginning of the week. We recorded it on Monday, and somebody who gets it, somebody who understands that side of the industry. So shout out to Ronald. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Again, wanted to give you another shout out. Go check that out. If you guys are looking for more than just, hey, let's talk about lines and bets all day long, I need a little bit more substance too. That's kind of what I try to aim and do a little bit something different. So there's that. Talking the Line, you'll see dingers, you'll see Vladdy bombs, you'll see you later sayas. I mean, have you seen the guy? Have you seen the guy, Mr. Dawson? I know it hurts. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to rub it in, but see you later, say ya. Oh.
That is so unfair. Because listen, all December, all January, part of February, I told you he's in the Red Sox back pocket, and that's why they didn't have a right fielder. And then whenever we came on the show, I think we were live, and you just signed him. I fell off my stool. I fell off my chair. I'm like, are you bleeping kidding me? I knew what you were getting. I knew what you were getting.
3 words. What adjustment period? Let's rock and roll. I love it. Yeah, you'll see Cubby content. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance for my obnoxious nonsensory during Cubby games. I love my boys. I'm also very passionate about baseball, so sometimes I'll just tweet some nonsense. Never anything negative or never anything you can't handle, but I tweet a lot during Cubby games. So I apologize in advance if you give me a follow. But hopefully I make up for it the next morning with one of my good morning. It's a terrific morning to be alive, or whatever I decide to put out that day. So I don't know. In a nutshell, follow at Colt TTL Sports, follow at Talking the Line. Jeff, I am beyond humbled that you allow me to come on this show every single day, my friend, or every single Thursday. I to get included in that tweet with some of those names is beyond humbling to me. All I do every day is get up and go to work and chase a passion and chase some goals, chase an industry that I love, and you give me the ability to continue to do that. So thank you for allowing me to have that platform, to have something outside of my own platform that I'm just trying to spread peace, love, and positivity with. Thank you for giving me another platform to be able to do that. I appreciate the hell out of that, because it's something in this industry not a lot of people are willing to do. And you do that, and you give me a time slot, an hour here to ramble on and talk some shit. So forever I am grateful for our relationship and for you crossing my path. So Colt TTL Sports, Cap and Colt, out.
Well, we're blessed and honored, obviously, to have you aboard. We love our trip to the Windy City. Every Thursday, 2:00 my time, 1:00 your time. We had an amazing months in college hoops. And what's so nice about this is that we transition right to the Cubbies, and then before you know it, we'll be talking Bears.
We're singing
And
Go Cubs Go.
we'll be in the
Go
NFL,
Cubs Go.
and it's crazy, crazy. So, with that all being said, if you are wagering and investing today, please do it responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Myself and Colton care. Why? Because we want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Colton Sroka at Colt TTL Sports and Talking the Line, we wish everyone a blessed afternoon. Cash some tickets. Have some fun. That's what we're here for. And we will see you soon.